AC TV 67 Sports proudly presents the stretch drive of the 1995 high school basketball regular season. Tonight, a Federal League showdown. The Jackson Polar Bears entertaining the North Canton Hoover Vikings. And this TV 67 special sports presentation is being brought to you in part by George Wakem Ford. George Wakem really is your friend at the factory. CCI and Ameritech Centrex, your telecommunications teammates. Lighthouse Pools and More, your customer-driven company for over 35 years. Value City Department Stores. No one gives you greater selection and savings than Value City. Clearwater Systems, for water the way it should be. 30th Street Giant Eagle. It takes a giant to make life simple. And Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Hello again, everyone. Yours truly, Scott Davis. We welcome back to the microphones this week Tom Cannell, our statistician as always, Vic Steffen. Tonight, Randy Ramsey producing, Mike Simon directing, along with Mike Tonjes, Jim Baldus, and the fine folks of Image Video. TC, two outstanding clubs, two of the top 4 seeds in the upcoming Canton sectional tournament, which will begin the end of the month. Jackson 15-3, Hoover 13-4 overall. The Polar Bears can clinch their 4th straight Federal League crown with a victory tonight, while a Hoover win would leave the teams tied with 1 league game remaining.
Well, it seems like every year, Scott, there's a key Federal League game down the stretch, and this year it may well be this matchup. Hoover's got their shot. If you could ask anyone down there in the orange and the black, they'd say, look, we want 1 shot at them. We can take the lead in the league. We'll take our shot. So I think they're satisfied with where they're at. They'd probably like to be a little better, but hey, they've got their shot. For Jackson, did they send a message to the world last week? We're going to find that out tonight, but their first priority, Larry Taylor said, was to win the Federal League.
And yes, especially since we have a producer and our director from Alliance High School, I am aware that Jackson shared the league title both in 1992 and 93 with the Alliance Aviators. You know, both teams have used the formula of hard work plus teamwork to equal success. However, both squads also feature record-breaking individual achievements. Jami Bosley of the Polar Bears. Statistician Todd Krebs telling us Stark County's all-time leading scorer, 1,916 points and counting, already holds school records for points, rebounds, and assists. Other players in the Jackson record book include Matt Thiel for his long-range shooting and Scott Henderson for his defensive work. On the Hoover side, Eric Ridge is the Vikings' all-time leader in assists and steals and number 6 on the all-time career scoring list in North Canton. So what we have here, 2 outstanding teams featuring a lot of outstanding individuals.
Well, you've got leaders on both teams, and as these games get down to crunch time, the leaders seem to surface.
And the big difference for that man, Jim Gottschall, he's got a team back. This is the best Hoover team in a decade, and that team a decade ago made it to the state's Final Four. Well, on the Polar Bears side, Larry Taylor has had great tradition here at Jackson the past 4 seasons, and it's reflected in the record and what they've done in postseason play.
Well, you know, a lot of people feel like they just get it going at this time of the year, looking at their tournament-hardened record over the last few years, and you don't see much difference. This team is coming to a peak at the right time, but I think they want this game tonight, and then they'll look at their second season.
We'll step aside, and when we come back, the Federal League battle, the Jackson Polar Bears and the North Canton Hoover Vikings. The starters for the Jackson Polar Bears in the backcourt, senior Chris Zupp and All-Ohioan senior Jami Bosley. Up front, senior Matt Thiel, senior Jeff Chain, and senior Scott Henderson. So a senior starting 5 for Larry Taylor in his 11th season at Jackson. For Hoover, they'll go with 3 seniors and a pair of juniors. Up front, Doug Inman at center, Mark Holden and Drew Hannon at the forwards, Eric Ridge and Kevin Davidson in the backcourt. Tom Cannell, Jackson has won 11 of the last 12 meetings, including a 68-51 count in North Canton 1 month ago.
Well, and that's why I want to see whether Hoover can step it up, because they got to take it up a notch, especially in this gymnasium tonight. They're obviously a good ball club. They wouldn't be here with this kind of record. They're in a hostile territory in the biggest game probably any of them have ever played. The officials tonight, speaking of big games, from the Summit County area, Bill Alford and Al Corwin.
Jackson 15-3 overall, 12-2 in the Federal League. The Hoover Vikings 13-4 overall, 11-3 in league play. It will be Scott Henderson jumping center for Jackson against Mark Holben. As you look at the head coaches, Jim Gottschall, his right-hand man, Jeff Height, Larry Taylor, his #1 assistant on the varsity level, Mr. Gary Jones. Matt Thiel, the first shot, no good. Battle for the rebound, Holben for Hoover. Eric Ridge to the front court, picked up by Chris Supp.
Playing a man.
Drew Hannon makes a move on Jami Bosley. Drew Hannon averaging 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, gives the Vikings a 2-0 lead. Bosley at the three-point arc will put it up off the side of the iron. Henderson had it for a moment, knocked away and controlled by Eric Ridge. Hoover with the ball in a 2-0 lead. We play 40 seconds here in this Federal League showdown. Kevin Davidson picked up by Matt Thiel. Doug Inman out high, guarded by Jeff Chain. Inman gets it back from Ridge. Davidson looking inside to Ridge. They're trying to post up Zupp. Ridge in the paint. Eric Ridge averaging 14 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds per game. Has his first 2, and on the road, the Vikings take an early 4-0 lead.
And I thought the first few minutes would be really important to the Vikings. They'd come out very calm and very collected.
Thiel for 3. Got it.
Those threes can erase 2s in a hurry.
Matt Thiel averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and hitting 51% of his three-point shots. 4-3 Vikings. We played a minute and a half. Hannon again makes a move on Bosley. Lost it in the lane. They'll call a foul.
Well, they're taking it right to Bosley. They're going to try to make him play some strong defense early, see if they can pick a couple fouls up on him. They succeeded on that drive.
First personal on Jami Bosley. Drew Hannon, a 71% free throw shooter, averaging 12 per game. He had 8 in the first meeting against the Polar Bears. He'll try to split the pair and give his team a 2-point lead. So Hannon with 3, and it's the Vikings 5-3. We welcome our new scoreboard sponsor tonight, TC, Buckeye Village IGA. Working it inside, Henderson lost it out of bounds. And now Jackson will bring up the pressure. Hoover breaks it, Inman with it. Cross court, Davidson trying to shovel it inside to Holben. Good defense by Matt Thiel.
One extra pass that time. Davidson could have probably put it right up there.
Drew Hannon will trigger it under the Hoover bucket. Vikings by 2. We've played almost 2 minutes. Ridge will take a 3. The back of the iron, battle for the rebound. Hannon comes away with it. And they call a foul on Jeff Chain.
The Chain was reaching in over the top. When finally the ball got loose and he got a piece of the upper body.
First foul on Chain. Second on Jackson as a team. Davidson behind a pair of screens. Ridge passed on the 3. Ridge picked up by Jami Bosley in the Jackson zone defense. Davidson for 3. Rim no, battle for the boards. Hoover has it, shot up, no good. And the rebound comes out to Matt Thiel. 3 on 2 the other way. Thiel, double team, got it back to Chain, he'll put it up. Got it. Jeff Chain averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds per game. Has his first 2. We're tied at 5. 5:25 to go in the initial period.
They actually turned the defense up. There's a bomb.
Short by Inman. Bosley battling Ridge. They'll call a jump ball. And Hoover will keep it on the alternate possession. Tied at 5. 5:17 to go first period. A little moisture on the floor.
Trying to hunt it down.
And the officials say play on. Davidson at the 3-point arc, bounce pass into Holben, picked up by Chain. Holben will put it up, his first shot no good, and a whistle.
Holben jumping in after the shot.
We'll pause, 5:11 to go in the first period.
There's the Buckeye Village IGA scoreboard, 5-5.
They'll be with us the rest of the regular season. We got a doubleheader for you next week. More on that in a moment. Great bounce pass, Henderson to Bosley, but Jami couldn't get the shot to go. And Eric Ridge comes away with it for the Vikings. We are tied at 5, just under 5 minutes to go in the first period. Drew Hannon thought about the 3, will put up the 2, short. Battle for the rebound, Jami Bosley comes away with it. He's back with Thiel. Bosley tries to split the defense and he draws the personal foul. I think it'll go against Kevin Davidson.
Get Bosley loose on the front end with the ball, and he's just going to try to work it to the hoop. He powers it between the defenders, neither of which were set.
Davidson's first personal. Thiel, a nice bounce pass, and this time Jami puts it down. Jami Bosley averaging 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists per game as his first 2.
And the first Jackson lead.
7-5. Davidson tries to split the defense. Nice play by Kevin Davidson. His first 2, averaging 12 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds per contest. Each team with a touchdown. Oh, sorry, wrong sport. 7-7.
Well, most importantly, the conversions were good.
Exactly. And Bosley off the glass. So Jami Bosley heating up. He has 4, and it's Jackson by 2. Inman for 3. Couldn't get the roll. Holben comes away with it. He puts it off the glass too hard. Tip no. Hannon got it.
Well, they kept it alive. Little volleyball off the glass by the Vikings till they got it to go.
Drew Hannon already with 5 in the early going. We're tied at 9 as we approach the 3:30 mark in the first period. Bosley for 3. Bosley, the last 3 Jackson buckets, leading scorer in the game with 7. His team up by 3, 12-9. 3:20 to go first period. Eric Ridge out front. Hannon, Davidson. They've done most of the ball handling for the Vikings. Tipped away by Bosley, controlled by Thiel. Chris up with it for the Polar Bears. Bosley looking inside, got it high post Henderson. Chris Up makes a move, double team, puts it up, offensive foul against Chris Up, his first.
Trying to force it on the baseline.
3rd team foul on Jackson.
What a nice pass. He just tries to take it hard baseline and clears out himself. And we have a couple of new guys in for the Polar Bears. We've got
come on, you've been waiting to say this. Kevin Verdi's in there in the middle.
We've got the guy that travels every Friday night to dinner with us, Ollie Kart. And
Kevin Verdi's number 54. Coming back from a knee injury suffered before the start of the season. You see the big brace on his right knee. Henderson gets a breather, as does Chain. So it's Kart ends up in the backcourt, Verdi in the middle, and Bosley and Thiel the forwards for Larry Taylor. Hannon puts up the 3. He's had the hot hand.
That's why that was hard to find. My partner gave me an incomplete roster. Imagine that.
Ali Kart makes the move, feeds Bosley. Verdi strong inside, but did he push off? Nope, somebody pushed him.
Well, Kart went up to fake the jumper. He drew 2 defenders and got it back out to a wide open Bosley. He doesn't miss too many of those free ones. There you see it. There was a hand in on Verdi that time as he went to collar the rebound.
Mark Holben gets his 2nd personal foul, so he sits down. Nate Chester, the 6th man for the Vikings, is in.
Traveling. Take it the other way for the Vikings.
Exactly 2 minutes to go here in the first period, and we're tied 12 apiece. Eric Ridge, Drew Hannon, Kevin Davidson, Doug Inman, and Nate Chester out there for Jim Gottschall's team.
Hoover's averaged 14.4 in the first quarters throughout the season, so they're about on that pace, and now they're at it.
Drew Hannon, tough angle. Already he's got 10 points in this game. He finished with 8 in the first meeting against Jackson, so Drew Hannon on fire here. He has 10 of his team's 14 points. Bosley tipped away. Nice defense by number 25.
Kart did a nice job screening the defender, not so he wasn't able to retrieve it. Kept Hannon off of it.
Hannon's had a highlight reel here in this first period. Verdi at the high post. Jami Bosley. Jackson moving the ball around as we approach the 1 minute mark. Matt Thiel guarded closely by Ridge.
Hoover zone forcing him farther out.
Thiel in the corner. Gets it to Bosley. Jackson showing good patience.
And Hoover showing good defense.
It's up at the three-point arc over to Ollie Kart, picked up by Hannon. Kart making a move inside on the double team, got the roll.
That was just as tough a shot on this side as we saw down here by Hannon.
Tied at 14, 30 seconds to go first period, and Jim Gotcho wants to take the last shot.
One thing that teams have to realize that Kart is a natural left-hander. That's a perfect spot for him.
Double team, got it to Hannon, nice pass to Inman, but a whistle.
And he walked. Took the pass and shuffled his feet trying to get position for the layup.
Scott Henderson back in for Verdi. As you look at some of the Jackson fans here, jam-packed down in the Polar Bears. Jim Gotcho calling out the defense. What a job he's done in his third season with the Vikings. 15 seconds to go. Ollie Kart through the double teams, up wide open. Shot is short, rebound Hannon. 5, 4, 3, Davidson, no, tip, no, Hannon, no, and that'll do it. End of 1. We're tied at 14.
Buckeye Village IGA scoreboard not at 14 apiece. It's been a physical first quarter, highlighted by this finish. You see a lot of bodies crashing underneath the bucket. 3 or 4 shots put up by the Vikings as the buzzer sounds. People dusting themselves up off the floor, and we're ready to go for the second 8 minutes. And the first 8 minutes was very entertaining.
6 played for Hoover, 3 in the scorebook. Drew Hannon leading all scorers with 10. Eric Ridge and Kevin Davidson each with 2. For Jackson, 7 players made an appearance on the floor, and 4 scored. Jami Bosley with 7, Matt Thiel with a 3, Jeff Chain and Ollie Kart with 2 apiece. Vic Stebbin pointing out, battle of the boards clearly in the Vikings' favor. They lead that category 11-4.
Particularly offensively.
Jackson hanging in there, shooting 55% from the floor compared to 35% for Hoover, and just 4 turnovers in that first period, 2 each way. Nice feed inside, Scott Henderson. Henderson averaging 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 block shots per game as his first 2. And it's Jackson by 2, as you see it on the Buckeye Village scoreboard. Hannon not this time, Thiel with the rebound. Wrists up to Jami Bosley. Bosley makes a move on Davidson. Shot is short, strong rebound, Henderson. So after being scoreless in the first period, Scott Henderson with 2 quick buckets, giving his team a 4-point lead.
Jackson now in their zone.
Ridge. Davidson. Inman will put up a 3 off the front of the iron. Kart controls, up back with him. It's 2 on 3, Kart for 3 off the back of the iron. Hannon knocked it away from Henderson. And Eric Ridge controls for the Vikings. Jeff Chain ready to come back in. Jesse Barr ready to make his first appearance for Jackson. Davidson and Ridge at the guards. Hannon and Chester at the forwards. And Inman in the middle for Hoover. It's Zupp, Kart, Thiel, Bosley, and Henderson for Jackson. The shot by Inman off the mark. Bosley comes away with it. Ollie Kart. Nice feed to Henderson.
And a dunk that brings them to their feet. Henderson has turned it on here in the first 2 minutes of the second period. He's got them all.
Doug Inman trying to quiet the Jackson crowd. No, Chester a nice save out to Ridge. Eric Ridge with 4. The lead for Jackson is 4. It has been the Scott Henderson show. He has all 6 Jackson points. That a beautiful feed though from Ollie Kart.
Well, just a nice head fake and caught him wide open coming down the lane.
One addition, Ollie Kart has been to the Jackson club, the exchange student from Turkey. Oh, and this time he feeds him down low.
Turkey a la carte.
Oh, you've been saving all this for 2 weeks. This man is dangerous. Mass substitutions both ways. Chain and Barr in for Jackson. Holden is back. Todd Boylan making his first appearance along with Matt Palmreuter for Hoover.
Henderson came to the bench and he's flexing that right hand he used to stuff it. May have just lost the ball at the top of the dunk.
Boy, Thiel, a 3-point specialist outside, looking tough inside. He's got 5. The Jackson lead is 6. Palmreuter gave Hoover a big lift off the bench against Glen Oak. And Todd Boylan puts it down for his first 2, averaging 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. He's spelling Doug Inman in the middle for the Vikings. Jackson lead is 4, and Bosley puts up a 3, nothing but net.
Sit out there in that zone and dare him to make them. That's not a guy you want to leave alone all night long.
Jami Bosley with 10. The Jackson lead is 7 as we approach the midway point in period number 2. Almost stolen by Bosley. Davidson makes a move in the paint. Shot is short. Right there is Holden. Bosley knocked it away, got it to Kart. Kart will take it in, and he draws a personal foul. We will pause. 4:21 to go before halftime.
Look at Bosley with a nice pass. Kart wants to take this. Strong, he's hit right there, and now he just hop steps. He's not happy. We have a technical. I don't know who the technical's on, but Jackson's at the line. This is an 11-4 Jackson run.
Ollie Kart, a 63% foul shooter, will try to split the pair. Averaging 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists per game as Jackson's 6th man. Now Jackson has outscored Hoover in this period 12-4. And they have a timeout on the floor. Hoover wants time. Jim Gottschall continues to talk to the official. Well, I'm going to say a big thank you before we go any further to Bill Lilly of the Akron Beacon Journal for his kind words in Sunday's paper about our sports operation. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you noticing.
Bill's right down there, so we'll tell him he got some kudos.
And you'll see Jim Gottschall in his 3rd season talking things over with the troops. We were tied at 14, end of 1, but once again, like the first meeting, Jackson on a roll here in period number 2. Centrex, your telecommunications teammate.
And he stresses at least one because he's been known to pass them around.
Yes.
Sprinkle the infield with him.
Jackson with the basketball, leading by 8. Make it 10. Jami Bosley. A dozen. And something on the floor. Eric Ridge handing it to the official. And our PA man and statistician extraordinaire here at Jackson High School, Todd Krebs, reminding the fans to control themselves in terms of putting anything on the floor. That obviously could injure one of the players. Certainly we don't want to see that. Jackson's biggest lead by 10, just past the midway point in period number 2. Henderson came out, scored the first 6 points, including a dunk. And on the turnover, Polar Bears will get it. We thank the folks at Jackson for the liquid refreshment.
Yes, Mr. Prado right on the scene here with the goodies. Slimming down a little bit too. I'm impressed.
3:35 to go before halftime. Jackson on a 14-4 run here has built the lead to 10. Kicked out of bounds, so Jeff Chain will trigger for the Polar Bears in front of the Hoover bench. Jami Bosley.
Well, he's deft when you get him the ball in that zone.
7 in the period, 14 in the game for the All-Ohioan. And it's Jackson by a dozen. Eric Ridge, a long 3 off the back of the iron. Bosley, another rebound. Quick pass to Henderson ahead of the field.
Second dunk.
Well, Scott Henderson putting a highlight reel together in period number 2. 32-18 Polar Bears.
18-4 run. The blocking foul.
Kart hoping for the charge, but instead he'll pick up the personal foul, his first.
You'll see the Jackson defender taking the brunt of that one.
Jason Zupp, his first appearance for Larry Taylor, the younger brother of Chris Zupp. Jason, a 6'4" junior. And we'll set the Hoover lineup in a moment. Inman is back in, had to change his shot, almost put it down. Thiel with the rebound. It's Thiel, Jason Zupp, Ollie Kart, Jami Bosley, and Scott Henderson for Jackson. They turn it over. Eric Ridge, Doug Inman, Paul Mruder, Drew Hannon, and back in there as well, Nate Chester for the Vikings. Hannon. Drew Hannon has been the offense so far for the Vikings. He has 11 of their 20 points. Tom Cannell heading downstairs to talk to our host, Jackson AD Bill Desiker. Shot is up and no good by Jason Zupp. Bosley had the rebound and Ridge comes away with it for Hoover. A 12-point Jackson lead with 1:45 to go before halftime. Kart almost had the steal. Instead of pick up the blocking foul, his second. Ollie Kart will sit down. Look at Larry Taylor. A few words of wisdom for Jason Zupp. Eric Ridge with the basketball. Swinging around here. Paul Mruder makes a move. And it's off of Scott Henderson. Good double team effort, Jackson defensively. Bosley and then Henderson. It's Henderson, Chain, Bosley, Thiel, and Chris Zupp for Jackson. Ridge in trouble, taken away by Bosley. And a good foul, or Bosley would have had an uncontested layup. Eric Ridge will pick up the personal, his first. Jackson has outscored Hoover in period number 2, 18-6 to build this 12-point lead. There you see Bosley head of the field, and he had 2 of his teammates to his left. So a good foul by the Vikings. Jackson with the ball in a 12-point lead, 1:20 to go before halftime. Thiel for 3. Just missed. Bosley right there. In traffic, no. Bosley had it taken away by Ridge. So the Vikings trying to cut into a 12-point deficit with 1 minute to go in period number 2. Paul Mruder for 3 off the back of the iron. Battle inside. Hannon knocked it to Ridge. Foul against Jackson. If it's on Jami Bosley, that'll be his second. And it is. Ollie Kart back in. Jami Bosley will get his first breather. Hoover hitting the boards hard here. Inman, long cross-court pass to Ridge, picked up by Kart. Got a pick from Chester. Shot is up, no. And Henderson had it. Kart comes away with it for Jackson. Larry Taylor, I believe, telling his team to spread things out and take the last shot with 35 seconds to go. Kart, Thiel, and Zupp out front with Chain and Henderson on the wings. Jackson with the ball and a 12-point lead. It's up, guarded by Hannon. Got it to Kart, who looks at the clock. 15 seconds to go in the period. Jeff Chain picked up by Chester. 10 seconds to go. Knocked away Inman. Nice save to Chester. And Chester falls down and is called for traveling. Feet just went out from under him with 4 seconds to go in the second period. We'll see what kind of long distance play Larry Taylor's team has. Got it to Kart. 3, 2, 1. Kart puts it up. No good. We're at halftime. It's Jackson by a dozen.
It's nice to...
With Ridge, Davidson, Holben, and Inman starting 5 back there for the Vikings. Same for the Polar Bears. Chris Upp, Matt Thiel, Jami Bosley, Scott Henderson, and Jeff Chain.
It's tough to follow Danielle onto a camera. You know that? I've been getting harpooned all night.
I don't think it's over yet. You still got the winning coach afterwards.
That's true. Ooh, that's true. I better start
Said
thinking
it
about
once, say it again. Very proud of the job she did a week ago, and glad to have you back this week, too.
Thank you. I appreciate her sitting in for me. We had a wedding to take care of last week. Everything went well.
For Tom Candle to stay out half the night, folks, that's a news story in and of itself. Inman, a tough shot. Didn't get the bounce, and Bosley still another rebound.
I always thought there was only 4 o'clock on the clock, you know?
Yes, Didn't know about that AM time. Jeff Chain with it, guarded closely by Hannon. Chris up. Vikings in a zone. Hannon almost had the steals. Up feeds Chain, puts it up. Nope, a little short, and Holben with the rebound. Taken away by Bosley. Bosley for 3. Air ball. Boy, Jami Bosley proving that he's human.
You don't see many of those.
14 points, hearing it from the Hoover fans. 14 points in the first half gives Stark County's all-time leading scorer 1,930 points and counting.
That'd be like you missing your plate with a fork. Doesn't happen too often.
Hannon for 3, rim no. Chain got the rebound. Hannon gets the foul. Boy, that just missed by number 25.
Oh, and there,
geez.
now, there's the proof that you were paid
Right.
off on your bet that I lost during baseball. There he is, the chef at work on the grill.
Oh, what kind of shot is this here?
This is seasoning the steaks, of course.
Is that what?
And there's the satisfied customer right there.
Yep, there it is, folks.
And there,
oh, great. Good shot there, guys. Yep.
there's the best one. That was
Yeah,
after
right.
dessert. We just said good night.
Oh, that's funny. Good stuff, guys. Oh, how long ago was that?
That was in the summertime.
All right, Tom Cannell back with a vengeance. What's Danielle's phone number? Can we get her down here?
At this point, 911, huh? There he
Yeah.
is again.
Oh boy.
More dessert.
Good grief. I didn't even have a chance to buy off those pictures before they got shown.
Thank you, Randy. We've been saving those since
that's
football.
Funny. That's funny. Back to the action on the court versus on the plate. Inman rejected by Henderson.
We've played about 4 minutes now to end the first half and start the second without a point.
Now notice I've dropped a few pounds only because you haven't invited me back over again. Because after you saw your food bill, that's why you didn't invite me back over again.
Oh, he's a good guest. We had fun that night.
6.5 minutes to go here. Period number 3. Jackson with the ball and still with that 12-point lead.
I figured I'd need that as a receipt. Now I feel like everybody knows it's been paid.
Yes. Ali Kart. No.
Well, when I went downstairs to talk to Bill Desiker with 2.5 minutes to go, it was 32-20. 6:07 remaining third period. It's the same score.
Hannon makes his move in the lane. Double team. Shot is short. Henderson with the rebound. Ali Kart trying to get by Inman. Inman knocked it away. Bosley lost it. Ball kicked by one of the Hoover players, and Jami Bosley will trigger it. And we played a little over 2 minutes. And we have yet to have a single point scored here in period number 3. Jackson still with that 12-point lead. And like the first meeting, the second period could be the difference in this game, as Jackson scored 18 points to just 6 for the Vikings. Oh, nice give and go. Bosley to Thiel. Clean block, say the officials, by Eric Ridge. Volleyballed around. Holben has it. Ahead of the field is Davidson. He controls it. Blocked by Kart.
Got him with the body.
We will pause. 5.5 minutes to go, third period.
And you watch Kart, he goes up and he slaps the ball away, but he gets plenty of body, and that's what they call.
Ali Kart has to sit down with his third personal foul. First player on either team in that department. Kevin Davidson, a 77% free throw shooter, has his third point of the game.
That breaks a 4.5-minute drought by both teams.
Davidson with 4. He had 8 in the first meeting against the Polar Bears. It's Jackson by 10 with 5.5 minutes to go in the third period. Jeff Chain with it, bounce pass inside. Henderson double team, back to Chain. Chain will put it up off the glass. Offensive foul.
See if they wave the bucket off or give it to him. No bucket. Chain's going to take it right inside Henderson's pass. And while he's in the area, lands right on the Hoover defender.
And now Jeff Chain has 3 personal fouls, so 3 fouls apiece on Chain and Kart. 2 of the top 6 for Larry Taylor's team. Inman working inside. Nice spin move on Henderson. Doug Inman, his first 2 points of the game, averaging 11 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per contest. Jami Bosley. Game's leading scorer with 16. The Jackson lead back to 10. Ridge lost it. Bosley ahead of the field. Ridge back defensively. Bosley off the glass for 2.
Well, just as they started to come back, Bosley's taken over the last 2 times down.
Holben with it for Hoover. Got it back to Hannon. He's double teamed to Holben. Davidson picked up by Henderson. Underneath, Hannon. Got the size mismatch against Chris Zupp. Hannon leading scorer for the Vikings with 14. And on the Buckeye Village IGA scoreboard, it's Jackson by 10. Henderson lost it inside off of Holben, and Jackson will keep it. Doug Barr back in the lineup. I should say Jesse Barr, whose father, Doug Barr, former ABA player, I believe with the Virginia Squires, if memory serves. Chain will sit down. Chester back in for the Hoover Vikings. Jami Bosley puts up the 3 off the back of the iron. Zupp with the rebound. Chris Zupp in traffic. And a foul on the Vikings.
Zupp.
We will pause. 3:49 to go, period number 3.
It was exciting.
Buckeye Village IGA scoreboard, 10 for the 10-point lead for the Jackson Polar Bears, make it 11. And Zupp created something on his own, the little guy out there finding an offensive rebound.
Chris Zupp, a 71% foul shooter in the books for the first time. That was foul number 3 on Kevin Davidson, and he's forced to take a seat. So the fouls adding up quickly here for both schools. Zupp hits both foul shots, averaging 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. Matt Palmreuter is in to replace Davidson. Hannon's had the hot hand for the Vikings.
That was 3.
17 points for the junior forward. He has 17 of his team's 29 points. Polar Bears lead is cut back to single digits at 9. Henderson high post against Holben. Nice bounce pass to Jami Bosley.
When they can get that bounce pass baseline, he's probably 99% certain of putting that ball in the hole.
Bosley, game's leading scorer. He has half of his team's points, 20 out of their 40. Jackson lead is 11.
He made a living out of that play during last year's tournament.
Bounce pass stolen by the Polar Bears. Jami Bosley 1-on-3 and call for traveling. As he runs into Kevin Cooper in our TV 67 camera.
Bill Allen with a little assist as he helps pull the cord back. Bill's had a couple of sons play football here.
Holman sits down, Inman back in, so it's Inman, Chester, Hannon, Palmreuter, and Rich for the Vikings. Chris up, Barr, Bosley, Henderson as Palmreuter buries a 3, and Thiel rounding out the starting 5 on the floor right now for Larry Taylor. Palmreuter had a great game off the bench against Glen Oak. Speaking of threes, Thiel the other way, no.
Hannon. Over the back.
Drew Hannon his second personal foul. Jackson with the ball, an 8-point lead. 2:35 to go third period as you look at Larry Taylor. And what a job he has done with the Jackson Polar Bears. Gunning for their 4th straight Federal League title tonight. Henderson guarded by Inman. It's up at the 3-point arc over to Barr. Jesse Barr. Back to Zupp. Around a Henderson pick. Nice feed to Bosley. He's double teamed. He'll put it up and drew the foul.
Going to be on Nate Chester. Take a look at Jim Gottschall. His team has shown resiliency. They've tried to rally here. Chester on the elbow. Puts Bosley at the line to shoot a pair.
This is interesting, his first trip to the foul line. He's made a living at the charity stripe in his illustrious career. He'll try to split the pair. An 80% foul shooter this season. Looking for his 21st point. He had 29 in the first meeting. Tom Cannell, this is just the way the first meeting went up at Hoover that Vic Steffen and yours truly had a chance to scout. That is Jackson, big second period. Hoover battling back in the third, but the Polar Bears prevailing in that first meeting, 68-51. Eric Rich held by Barr. First personal on Jesse Barr. Palmreuter to trigger it right in front of his own bench. Palmreuter, another 3. Hannon tried to bounce it off of Bosley, ends up in Chester's hands. Off balance shot, no. Henderson had the rebound and coming away with it is Barr. 3-on-1 the other way. Thiel, offensive foul.
Good call too. He leaned right into Ridge as Ridge tried to roll with him down the baseline. He could have missed Ridge easily. He just took a shot at him. There you're going to see he's got room to come to the baseline, but he just jumps into him. Contact initiated by the offensive player.
Palmreuter and Ridge in the backcourt for Jim Gottschall with Hannon, Inman, and Chester up front. Inman in traffic, and he took an extra step. 41-32 Jackson with a minute 32 to go as Ali Kart returns. Jesse Barr sits down.
Got a feel for Inman. He's having a tough night. Solid ball player.
Jeff Chain checking in, giving Scott Henderson a breather. Hoover has used 8 players tonight, Jackson 9. Thiel left alone, can't do that. Not against a three-point specialist like Matt Thiel. He's got 8, and just like that, the Jackson lead is a dozen.
That's been the highest lead all night long, but they've been there 4 or 5 times.
A deep 3, Hannon just missed. Bosley got position on Inman. 1 minute to go, and we'll see how Larry Taylor plays it. Might go for the last shot. Ali Kart will back it out, working on Hannon. Zupp to Bosley. Got it inside to Chain. Jeff Chain with 4, the assist to Jami Bosley. 40 seconds to go third period. And Jackson with its biggest lead at 14. Eric Ridge short on the shot. Inman offensive board. Blocked by Bosley. Kick it out here to Kart with 30 seconds to go. Kart trying to make a move on Ridge. Will back it out. Cross court. Thiel left open. This is like a replay of a week ago. Deadly from three-point range. Last week against the Bulldogs. This week against the Vikings. Biggest lead for Jackson, 17. Eric Ridge with a runner, no. Hannon, the offensive board, drew the foul with less than 2 seconds to go.
Thing about Jackson, it's so hard to defend them because you clamp down on Bosley. Now you've got Kart who can penetrate, good passer, and you've got Thiel who can kill you from the outside. Here you see Hannon on the follow, and that's where he got nailed.
Barr back in for Kart. Our first look at Jeff Whitaker, 6'6" senior center. Jeff Chain will get a breather. Now, Drew Hannon has been the man offensively for the Vikings tonight. 1 out of 2 from the foul line.
Unusual style. He just takes the ball, takes a step, and puts it up.
Didn't get either one to go. Boylan got it, but couldn't get the shot off in time. End of 3. Jackson with the biggest lead in the ball game.
Buckeye Village IGA scoreboard. The Polar Bears 49-32. They led it after the first quarter was tied 14-14. Jackson led 32-20 at the half, and now is stretched at the 49-32 with 8 minutes to play.
Ollie Kart.
He walked. Dragged the pivot foot.
Through 3. The difference in the game, Tom Cannell shooting from the field. Jackson 20 out of 36 for 56%, and Hoover just 13 out of 43 for 30%.
And at that whistle, we'll remind you the guys behind the whistles tonight, Bill Alford and Al Corwin, they've done a nice job.
Ridge, Hannon, Chester, Boylan, and Palmrooter for Hoover. Kart, Chris up, Bosley, Chain, and Thiel for Jackson. So Jeff Chain right now in the middle for the Polar Bears.
And the Bears again in that zone. That's what forced Hoover out of their game to start the second quarter.
Chester, nice move. Left-handed shot, no. Hannon battling for the rebound. Boylan has it. Hoover maintains possession. Ridge for 3. Short. Ollie Kart strong for the rebound. 3 on 3. Kart for 3. Nope. Line drive shot didn't quite hit the mark. Boylan with the rebound. Out here to Palmrooter. Cross court. Hannon. He'll take it in, lost control, tipped by Palmrooter, no, foul on the Polar Bears.
Hannon loses concentration as the defender goes by. Actually, the defender got a piece of it. He threw it up off the glass anyway, kept it alive, and on the rebound, the foul was called. Hard to see the first time that somebody actually got a hand in on there and knocked it away from him.
Hannon, the only player in double figures for Hoover. He has 17 of his team's 32 points. And again, Palmrooter has given them a nice lift off the bench. He has 4, averaging 3 points, 2 rebounds a game. Palmrooter, our CCI player of the game runner-up, and the Hoover victory against Glen Oak a couple of weeks ago.
Who are you favoring at this point in that
Well,
voting?
I think you have to look at Hannon for Hoover because he's really been a large majority of the offense as you look at Barr. And the guy with the basketball for Jackson, they could build a new wall on their home just to hold all his postseason honors. Jesse Barr in the scorebook for the first time. And we may have to have a split vote for Jackson because our producer, Randy Ramsey, making an excellent point, and that is that really on that run in period number 3, the big guy in the middle was the main man, and we're talking about Scott Henderson.
They forgot to give Jackson the points for the last bucket. It was 49-32 to start the 4th period. Barr just hit one right in front of us.
I don't know if anybody's realized it yet. It's up against pressure, got it to Ollie Kart.
Somebody's scorebook won't add up.
Bosley. You can double team him, but you still can't stop him. Inman in the corner, picked up by Henderson. This is Eric Ridge, guarded closely by Zupp. Back to Inman. Palmrooter and Hannon out front. Ridge Got it inside to Chester. Couldn't get the roll. Tip is good. Hannon, another bucket. Done a nice job on the offensive boards, too. He has 21 points. 21 of their 38. We'll pause. 5.5 minutes to play. That's the score
on the scoreboard. Right.
Yeah, but we've got Jackson with 2 more points.
There's 2 vanishing points off that board, according to our stats.
Well, we'll continue to go with what's on the scoreboard. Palmrooter. Boy, that did everything but go down for 3. Inman. Doug Inman has 4. And the lead is 11. He's up against the double team. Got it to Kart. Matt Thiel. Henderson and Bosley rounding out the 5 on the floor for Larry Taylor's team. Thiel guarded closely by Hannon. Jami Bosley picked up by Chester. Under 5 minutes to play. Thiel guarded by Hannon. They're all trying to use a Henderson pick. There it is. Bosley in the paint, and they'll call a foul, I guess, on Hannon. Nope, on Eric Rich from behind.
Reach around.
His second. Rich, who had 22 points in the first meeting, has been held to 5. Hannon, who had 8 in the first meeting, has 21. Jami Bosley, 2 out of 3 at the free throw line, will look for his 25th point of the ball game. A 13-point Jackson lead with 4.5 minutes to play. Ridge, short on the line drive shot. Bosley had the rebound. Kart down on the floor. And they'll call a Kart for traveling.
He is a nice addition to this ball club. You see the loose ball, players on the floor, rolled over the second time, and that's what got him traveling.
Hannon is banged up his left elbow, but he wants to stay in there. Palmrooter to trigger to Hannon. Lost the ball. Bosley comes away with it. Ahead to Ollie Kart.
You see on the break, Hannon trying to catch up, tries to reach in and slap at it as he goes by. Kart a little off balance.
We'll pause. 4:15 to play. Ollie Kart trying to add to his team's 13-point lead. 1 out of 3 from the foul line. Davidson is in. And Hannon will sit down for the Vikings. Hannon sits down with 21. Davidson, who picked up 3 fouls by early third period play, has been limited since then in terms of seeing duty, and has 4 points in the books. Kart splits the pair. Ollie Kart with 4 in the game. And the Jackson lead is 14 at 54-40. Kevin Davidson making a move on Thiel. No, rebound and down for 2 by Palmrooter. Matt Palmrooter with 7 off the bench. Was up with it with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Kart, nice feed to Thiel, couldn't get it to go. Ridge with the rebound. Ridge to Davidson, and Davidson got it up over Scott Henderson. Timeout Hoover. 3:27 to play. The Jackson lead is 10.
The Buckeye Village IGA scoreboard, Hoover slices it to 10. And I think they called timeout after they made the bucket to slap the full court D on. We'll see what they do when they come out. Take a look at the Hoover cheerleaders to our left.
Well, the Vikings have scored 12 points in this fourth period to 5 for Jackson. Let's cut that deficit from 17 points down to 10. Once again, next Tuesday night, Perry and Maslin. Boy, and we saw the young and talented Tigers beat a good Stowe ball club this past Tuesday night by 10 points in a one-time Tom Cannell. Davey Null had 2 freshmen, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior on the floor.
And they drew the Polar Bears for the opening night of the tournament. What a tough game that'll be for both clubs for the opener.
And we think another good one for you a week from tonight at 10:30. It's a battle between the number 2 and 3 seeds in the upcoming tournament as McKinley goes on the road at Alliance.
Always a nice place to watch a game, Alliance. You get really close to the action.
Here it's Jackson by 10 and the foul against the Vikings.
Ollie Kart's going to think he's using that on short yardage tonight. He's been on the ground a lot.
Palmreuter gets a personal foul.
Watch the little left foot action here.
Palmreuter's second personal foul. Ali wasn't a senior. He could come off for the football team and the new coach, whoever that may be.
Well, obviously he struggled a little bit at the line tonight. If there's somebody you want to put there of the 5, you probably select him.
There's Jackson always with the reputation of the great 6-man. Jami Bosley was the 6th man when he was a freshman here. And a year ago it was Matt Thiel, who this year is Jackson's second leading scorer.
Well, if he stuffs this one in, the strategy hasn't worked.
Ali Kart 4 out of 6 from the line, 6 points in the game, and Jackson by a dozen as we approach the 3-minute mark to play. The Ali Kart theme music from the Jackson band there too. That was a nice touch. Kevin Davidson looking for Inman down low. A steal by Jami Bosley. Kart controls, got it to Bosley with 2:55 to play. Nate Chester all over the All-Ohioan. Back to Zupp. It's up, Kart, Bosley, Henderson, and Thiel as Jackson spreads it out. Jackson 2 minutes and 40 seconds away from their 4th straight Federal League title.
Has that been done before?
Perry holds the record. Late in Larry Wilson's tenure, the Panthers won an amazing 6 straight Federal League prints.
Figure you would know the answer to that question. Oh, great trivia man.
But that run by Jackson, equally amazing when you consider what, we've had a number of outstanding teams in the Federal League. Alliance has been there 3 times in the 4-year stretch, sharing it twice. And
I see Larry doing commercials these days on 67. Saw him last week.
Yeah, that was great. An unrehearsed, no less. Jami Bosley, 4 out of 5 from the line. And we've got him down now for 25 points. Make that points 26 and 27 as you look at the Jackson faithful and some of their most ardent fans. Chester likes that left-hand hook, got that one to go. His first 2. The Jackson lead is 12 with 2:10 to play.
I think what's impressed me tonight is Kart's ball handling ability and his passing.
Well, I think for the 2nd straight game, Ali is going to be our honorable mention candidate for CCI. And nothing wrong with that when you've got a talented club like Jackson. But maybe now's a good time instead of waiting for the end, because I think the choices are rather obvious tonight. I think from the Hoover perspective, you got to look at Drew Hannon and his 20-plus point performance. especially when you consider he averages a dozen per game. And on the Jackson side, I think we'll split it again as we did a week ago. You've got to put Jami Bosley in there. 27 points tonight. He controlled this game at certain sections. And I agree with our producer, Randy Ramsey, the guy who really gave them the spark in what turns out to be the crucial second period of play with Scott Henderson. He got all 8 of his points in that period. So we say congratulations on the Jackson side to Jami Bosley and Scott Henderson. And on the Hoover side, Drew Hannon. All 3 players will receive this handsome plaque from our friends of CCI and Ameritech Centrex, your telecommunications teammates. We'll pause. 1:43. Jackson away from a Federal League title.
Hi, Jerry, TNT TV. You bought
6 in a row. Has tied his first game performance against North Canton with 29. Season high for Jami this year, 35. That was down in the Christmas tournament down south. 30 points tonight for Jami Bosley. He has half of Jackson's total. Polar Bears by 14. Eric Ridge at the foul line. And just a little short for most of the night on his shots, and they'll call a foul on the Vikings. Might go against Ridge, judging by his reaction. With a minute 32 to play. Tom Cannell heading downstairs. We'll get post-game comments from Larry Taylor. Just one more game for the Polar Bears. That'll be next Tuesday night here against the Lake Blue Streaks in their first tournament game, and it'll be a tough one on Wednesday, March the 1st against the Massillon Tigers. North Canton will play next Tuesday against Timpkin, and a week from tonight they'll close out the regular season against Northwest, and they will face a difficult first-round tournament opponent, Mark Alberts and the Worcester Generals, a team that beat Jackson twice during the regular season. So both these teams will have trouble out of the gate despite being seeded. Ali Kart has hit now 5 in a row from the line, 6 out of 8 overall, and 8 points off the bench. Another strong performance by Jackson's 6th man. Davidson working around a Chester screen, no, but drew the foul. He'll go against Scott Henderson. It's Jackson by 16 with a minute 22 to play. And like with their first meeting, the difference in this game will be period number 2. Jackson outscoring Hoover 18-6 to turn a 14-14 first period tie into a 32-20 advantage, and Hoover, despite making a mini run in the third period, could not come back. Kevin Davidson looking for his 8th point. He is perfect at the foul line, 4 out of 4. Making his first appearance, junior guard Trent Shantz. Davidson will sit down. He may be done for the night with 1:22 to play. Ali Kart working on Doug Inman. Back out to Thiel to Bosley. Zupp and Henderson complete the 5 on the floor for Larry Taylor and company. Bosley triple team, turns, bounce pass up, bring it back out. Kart for 3, got it. Ali Kart with 11. Jackson's lead is 17. I believe that ties their high water mark with 45 seconds to play. Ridge in the lane, no. Ridge got the rebound in the paint, blocked by Henderson. Inman comes away with it and lost it out of bounds with 33 seconds to play. TV time for Chris Marcinkowski, a senior guard. Making a second appearance, Jeff Whitaker. The hand for Scott Henderson and for Chris Zupp. Henderson will finish with 8 points, all in that crucial second period. Ali Kart with it, over to Thiel. Chris Zupp finished with 2 points, but again, Henderson and Zupp, their role as Jeff Whitaker gets in the scoring column, his first 2, but the role of Zupp and Henderson much more than just what they put in the score sheet. Shantz, no. Whitaker rebounds, 5 seconds to play. And the Jackson Polar Bears have won their 4th consecutive Federal League title. The final score from the home of the Polar Bears, Jackson 67, Hoover 48. On the nets in the regular season, but it's not often you see a team win its 4th consecutive Federal League title either. The Polar Bears 67-48 victory tonight over North Canton Hoover. Down to TC with the winning coach, Larry Taylor.
Well, they're tearing the nets down here at Jackson after the 4th straight Federal League title. You told us before the game this was the team's #1 priority.
Well, that's, the kids set goals, Tom, and, they go out there and they work hard at it. And these kids have been through a lot this year. There's a lot of things wearing on them, and I just couldn't feel better for them right now. They stayed so focused through everything this season. We honestly felt coming in this would be one of the toughest schedules that we've ever played in the history of Jackson. And I think a lot of those pressures started to build on our kids a little bit, but tonight makes it all worth it. They definitely are Federal League champions. I couldn't be more proud of them.
Is it tough to stack this team up against some of the others?
I wouldn't want to, because each one of these teams is so unique. These kids are so awesome. They're great kids. Our fans, you can see that in here. They're still here. They're not going to leave. It's definitely become a love affair here at Jackson, and you just can't beat it. And I couldn't be more proud to be their basketball coach.
As you watch the ball game tonight develop, just awfully tough. You spread the floor. You've got ball handlers. You've got shooters. You can take it inside. Just a tough team to defend.
Well, our kids execute so well, Tom. We work hard at that. We get them mentally tough to do things that they have to do. And, those kind of things are what we hope they can do at the end of the game to finish it all like that. I got to bring my sidekicks in here to all the guys that support. This is our strength right here behind me, the backbone of this basketball team. So, these kids just get it done, and somehow, some way, they're going to make you awful proud of them.
Now we're going to look at the second season. How does the tournament locally shape up, in your opinion?
We still want to play Lincoln here on a Tuesday night. It's our seniors' last night here. It'll be a very sad night for us, and we're going to miss them when they're done playing this gym, but we're going to go into that tournament with the same ideas we always do. We felt very fortunate to be able to play a team like Masson, because that place will be sold out, ready to go right off the bat, and that's the way that tournament's supposed to be.
Okay, well, enjoyable night here tonight. We had a good time. I know you did, and we'll see you down the road.
Well, Tom, thank you. Thanks, Scott upstairs, 67, for all they've done for us. And one more time, I just want to thank all our fans all season long. They've been so awesome, and we love them to death.
Okay, here you hear it. Larry Taylor, he couldn't be happier. He's going to go cut some net down. Take it away, Scott Davis.
All right, Larry Taylor joined by Jami, Bosley, and Matt Thiel. Well, you had Jackson, a team dominated by seniors, against a Hoover team of mixtures of seniors and juniors, and this time the seniors prevail. Final count 67-48. Quickly, the individuals scoring for the Vikings, who are now 13-5 on the season, 11-4 in the league. Drew Hannon leading the way with 21, Kevin Davidson 8, Matt Palmruder off the bench with 7. Eric Rich held to 4 tonight, Doug Inman with 4. 2 apiece for Nate Chester and Todd Boylan. Trent Shantz played briefly, did not score, and Mark Holben was held scoreless. For the victorious Jackson Polar Bears, 16-3 overall, 13-2 in the league, and Federal League champions. Jami Bosley scores so many points we have trouble keeping track of them all. Officially now, and the numbers add up, he finishes with 29, exactly the same number he had in the first meeting. He's one of our CCI players. Matt Thiel and Ali Kart, each with 11. Kart's points coming off the bench. Our co-CCI award winner, Scott Henderson, with 8, several block shots, a number of rebounds, and Scott scoring all 8 points in that critical second period. Also in the scorebook for Jackson, 4 for Jeff Chain, 2 for Chris Zupp, 2 for Jeff Whitaker. Jason Zupp and Kevin Verdi played briefly and did not score. We had Jesse Barr for a bucket for 2, but if that held up, then Jackson should have 2 more points on the scoreboard. I don't know what happened there, but we'll give Jesse a credit for a bucket for 2 anyway. As you look at Vic Steffen's numbers, the real difference in this ball game, the shooting from the field, where Jackson hit 23 out of 42, Hoover struggling 20 out of 62. Both teams really picking it up at the foul line. Remember, they were both just 1 out of 2 at halftime, but again, Jackson with the advantage because they were 15 out of 19, while Hoover only went to the line 10 times, converted 7. Hoover wins the battle of the boards, but Jackson wins the battle of keeping the ball safe in terms of number of turnovers. And it all adds up to the Jackson Polar Bears' 4th consecutive Federal League title as they down the North Canton Hoover Vikings 67-48. This TV 67 special sports presentation has been brought to you in part by